Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com. I can't believe it has been 20 months, almost 2 years, since we released the Islander Hawkeye watch. This was ISL 203, 204, 205. It was an automatic pilot. It was a modern interpretation of the Flieger watch, and it was designed by Marvin Menke of Hemel watches. Hemel is a brand that we carry in the store, definitely a micro brand, and it is, Marvin is located right here on Long Island, so near and dear to my heart. Marvin and I have worked together on a bunch of things. Today, we are launching the Hemel Hawkeye Chronograph. So it's not like a Rev 2 or a Part 2 or a new, it's a chronograph. It's the Hawkeye now in chronograph version. Difference here, besides it being a chronograph, is that I'm not selling it on my website. He is selling it on his. I will leave a link in the video description of how you can purchase one. Basically, you just go to his website, hemelwatches.com, and they will be there. But I'll try to provide you a direct link. On my own wrist today, I am wearing an Islander waffle dial GMT. This blue dial with the yellow accents is so cool, and on-the-fly micro. Our only watch currently with on-the-fly micro. More to come for sure, though. And on my other wrist, the Squale Sub 39 Corso Italiano, Arctico, whatever, white dial. This one actually has 20 millimeter lugs. All the other Sub 39s had 22s. This one had 20, so it just makes it more visually appealing in my opinion, but this was an LE for the Korean market. I happened to nab one for myself. That's it. Let's check out the Hawkeye chronograph. So the Hemel Hawkeye returns in chronograph format in 3 delicious flavors. Now we have a black dial, we have a full lume dial with a black bezel, we have a full lume dial with an orange bezel. If you recall, in the first round, we had the ISL 203, 204, 205. The 203 was the black dial. The 204 was the full lume dial. And the 205 was a limited run, black dial and orange bezel. So sure, in this way, we kind of did the 205 a little bit differently. But I want to stress, none of these are limited. Marvin does have the capability to make more. We did not number any of them. However, he has indicated to me there may be somewhat of a difficulty in getting seagull movements in the future. So just keep that in mind. Let's go. So yeah, these are running on a Seagull ST19 movement. If you don't know what that is, it is pretty much the preeminent or premier affordable mechanical chronograph that is around. It is a kind of a copy, it depends who you talk to, of the Venus 175 movement. There's a lot of lore about it, but nonetheless, it is a Chinese-made movement from Seagull, but it is an affordable chronograph. It is a column wheel chronograph. You can see the column wheel right there through the case back. And this is the movement that, there's the column wheel right there with the blue screw in the middle, and it's kind of castellated. And it admits and rejects the levers for start, stop, reset, etc. But the ST19 is definitely the affordable chronograph movement, and it's been around for many years, powers a lot of the Seagull chronos. So let's go. Why don't we go over this beautiful black dial Hawkeye chronograph. It is a mechanical wind, so I can wind it until it stops. That is the deal with these. The mainspring is wrapping around in the barrel. The end of it is hooked into the barrel itself. So eventually the mainspring will reach its maximum wind, and I don't know, we should be there. It feels like I'm winding for a while. Come on, almost there. And it was stopped. So you don't want to wind it past the time when it hits a hard stop. That's how you can damage these. Let's go. 40 millimeters in diameter. It is 13.4 millimeters thick to a slightly domed sapphire crystal. There is anti-reflective treatment on the inside of that crystal. It is 47 millimeters on the lug tip to lug tip. As you saw, it is an exhibition screw down case back. So we can read Hemel by Islander right there, sapphire, Hawkeye chrono, and ST19 water resistant 210 atmospheres. 20 millimeter lugs, comes in a beautiful padded, thick padding, black leather strap with white contrasting stitching. Works perfectly. Works well on all the models. Works perfectly on this model, in my opinion. 20 millimeters, as I said, 100 meters of water resistance. 86 grams is what you're going to be weighing in at on the bracelet. The Hawkeye, the Islander Hawkeye that I mentioned in the beginning, it was a pilot's watch. It was a modern interpretation of a pilot's watch. It had it had many of the same styling cues. Had the blue hands, the Arabics, etc. So it was a great extension to make it into chronograph format. Start, stop, reset. The blue here that you see, that peels off with like a toothpick. It's there for protectiveness in manufacturing and transport, etc., so it doesn't knock against anything. But you wind it up, you get your 40 hours roughly of power reserve. It is a 2-hand hours and minutes. Running seconds is over here at the 9 o'clock subdial. You start it, and the seconds hand starts its march around the dial. After 1 minute, this register will click over 1 notch. You stop it, you reset it. All satisfying, beautiful clicks. Hemel has upgraded the crown to a larger crown, so it's much easier for you to turn. And so you can just see it from the back. Ready? Start. Oh, isn't that beautiful? So cool to see the whole symphony in motion. Stop and reset. If you are like me, if this is your first mechanical chronograph, you will sit there staring at the back of it for a long time. We're using BGW9 on the subdials and the hands. So as I mentioned, it is a collaboration piece, just like the original Hawkeye was. That's as much as I can zoom, so let's pull it in nice and tight. Look at the circles to either side of the aviator's triangle. On the left, H for Hemel, and on the right is my logo. And there it is on my thumb as well. But really nice. He did a really great job with this one. Obviously, since I'm a collaborator and I'm not selling them, I am getting a cut of the sales. So just so you know, open and honest. The bezel insert itself is ceramic, and it is marked in dual time. It is a unidirectional ratcheting bezel. So this is handy for one marking. Yeah, tracking a second time zone. So you just put how many hours ahead at the top of the watch. Let's say you want to track a time zone 2 hours ahead. You then look at the hour hand. It is 12 wherever we are tracking. 2 hours ahead of me is somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. Maybe it's like Greenland or Iceland or something, kind of a weird time zone. Alternatively, what you can do is you can align the diamond at the hour hand, okay? So let's align it right there. And when you start the chronograph, even though it's only a 30-minute subdial, after an hour, the hour hand will be pointing to 1, 2 hours to 2, blah, 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 blah. So you can actually use it as a 12-hour totalizer. Pretty cool little hack right there. The buckle itself is stainless steel polished. It is signed with the Hemel name. So these are model number HF34. They're all $4.99. I probably should have said that. I apologize. This is the full Lume dial. So very, very similar in all the specs. Actually, it is identical in all the specs. We've now traded in a black dial for a full luminescent BGW9 dial. And it looks awesome when the lights go out. I'm going to do a Lume shot at the end like I normally do, so you can see how well they all glow. They glow really, really well. On side, on the other side, and of course, this one has a sticker on the case back. I peeled it off the others, but a beautiful, beautiful view of a beautiful, beautiful watch. The Arabics, everything just makes it so easy to read. And then the last one, as I mentioned, the 205 that we did in the Islander Hawkeye was a black dial with orange bezel. We limited it to 50 pieces, and they sold out in like 3 hours, something crazy like that. I don't expect any of these to sell as fast because they are more expensive, but it is a mechanical chronograph, and at $4.99 for a mechanical chronograph, it is a smoking good deal, as are all Hemel watches, whether they are the Mecha Quartz chronos or the mechanical wind-up chronographs. So this is the last one, full Lume dial, but this time we've traded the black bezel for an orange bezel. They work so well together. They just kind of, I don't know, they kind of match, they kind of meld. Looks terrific. So why don't we try one on, actually, why don't we do the Lume? So I'm going to line them all up just like this. Okay, so I'm believing these two should be about the same, and this one will obviously be the different one. In 3, 2, 1. And absolutely amazing. The lume on these is great. Your black dial is here, and obviously your two full looms are here. This one's a little bit out of focus because it's off to the side of the lens, but they all are super duper easy to read. The bezels look fantastic. Wow, wonderful job on the lume here. Absolutely wonderful. It's about 40 millimeters. It fits my 6.5, 6 3/4 inch wrist like a dream. That's where I would be on the strap, above the bone, below the bone. Looks great, fits great. Love the look. Again, that orange with the full lume dial, really fantastic. And I think that's going to do it for us today. This has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com showing you the new Hemel Hawkeye chronograph. Again, these are not available for purchase on my website. They are available at HemelWatches.com. I will put a link to it below in the video description. But I am getting a cut of the sales because it does have my logo on it, and we do design them together. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing to the channel if you have not done so. Questions, comments, anything else you want to say, put it down below. I'll be sure to address it as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.